has come from Cleveland to play this one. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan, introducing the rest of the 2K broadcast team. Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and sideline reporter Doris Burke. You look at San Antonio. Well, guys, at this point, while still many things can change, their record is not on par with their performance last year. Maybe a cause for concern, but something they are well aware of.
You know, checking out San Antonio, you know they've hung pretty close to the top of the standings, but given the expectations for them coming into the season, it's still a little bit of a disappointment.
Well, you think about the buzz surrounding this club early on. It's definitely sagged off a little bit now. They haven't performed quite the way they expected to, but there's still time. I mean, if they keep plugging away, I think they can get there by the time the playoffs come around.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Cleveland, Irving and Waiters, the guards. The two stars, LeBron and Love. At the 3 and the 4. And it's Hollins in at the 3 at the center, locking down the middle. Dion Waiters going into last season working on playing off the ball, whether, catch and shoot, Steve, or coming off screens.
Yeah, he's most comfortable with the ball in his hands, but playing alongside Kyrie Irving, he's got to be more effective without the ball, working off those screens and learning to play with Irving.
Here's Parker. Following the basket by LeBron James. And the shot is good.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Parker against Irving.
Wow. Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
So it's the Spurs now. The Cavaliers making the shot. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. Raiders on the wing. LeBron James on the wing. He's looking for Love and finds him. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Kevin Love is really a player who I think befuddles pundits because the numbers say he's a superstar, probably a top 5 player, but then he's never been to the playoffs. To that, I would simply say basketball is a team game. Individuals don't take teams to the playoffs. So despite that, there are some left wondering if his numbers are greater than his actual impact on the team. I'm not one of them. We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
You can always depend on him to put the pass right on the money.
Cavaliers have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Irving attacking. Goes back up. Love with the bucket.
They have got to put a body on him because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And for Love, the other reason for the skepticism, he's not a chiseled, overpowering athlete. He's not flashy. Maybe he doesn't look like a superstar, but his game speaks for itself, just the strength and the skill. Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. And one thing for sure, last season the Timberwolves were a disaster when Kevin Love went to the bench.
That's for sure, Kevin. I mean, when he was on the floor, they outscored opponents significantly. When he sat, their offense basically imploded. Well, we got a moment to look back to last year's Spurs right now. First in assists, first in three-point field goal percentage, and they were number 2 in field goal percentage. This is a team that got good shots on a regular basis and knocked them down.
And Clark, what you talked about that really resonates with me is the assists, because they were the best in the league, clearly a result of wonderful offensive execution and, of course, unselfishness. It didn't seem to matter who was taking the shot. That team always tried to find the open man.
Leonard, no luck.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
And Ginobili pulls it down.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
And Leonard gets it to go.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
Good solid defense on the perimeter there, challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
And stolen by Love. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
They get it back. That's good.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
Now, here is Irving. He's coming off a 28-point game against Chicago. No good from LeBron.
Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, last season's Coach of the Year, one of only 3 coaches to win that award 3 times. He's also a 5-time NBA champion as a head coach and really has been the model for consistency and excellence as a head coach, as a leader of his team in San Antonio. They've won 50 games, 15 consecutive years now, and clearly players are a big part of that, but his leadership and his ability to relate to his team and to get them to be a team is something that will send him right to the Hall of Fame when he's eligible.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Bonner, he's checked in for Duncan. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. Mills in for Tony Parker. Spurs trail by 4. And Popovich, the longest tenured NBA coach by far. 18 seasons, and Steve all with this San Antonio organization.
Well, he's actually the longest tenured coach in any of the 4 major American sports. And you know, what an incredible run he's had with the Spurs, leading them to a winning record in 17 consecutive seasons. Longest such streak in NBA history.
Scooped up, James. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Kevin, they've been playing with an awful lot of energy here, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. That's always an indicator of hustle and energy.
Leonard kicks to Green. And there's the feed to Bonner. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from the baseline. That one wide left.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
Waiters passes to Irving. James outside for the 3. And again, LeBron missing.
And if they know what's good for him, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball into 3-point territory.
Well, you're right. Anything less than airtight defense on him will usually result in 3 points.
And the offensive rebounds leading to second chance points.
Yep, Kevin, and they have 6 in this quarter. And you know what? That's always a good sign in terms of a team that's focused and energetic. I mean, when you can get to that offensive glass, you're doing some work.
A lot of people thought that Danny Green would build on his play from the 2013 playoffs last season, but it was marred by injuries and underwhelming performances from him. Definitely not what he nor Spurs fans were hoping for.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Here's Mills. He's guarded by Waiters. Outside, Green. Mills with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Right wing, Bellinelli dishes to Mills. Lets it fly from 18. Almost, but it rolls out. And Danny Green last season, a dip in his field goal and 3-point percentage club.
You know, he hit a slump around the middle of the season, but he finished strong. Still a highly efficient scorer in their offense.
Offensive rebound. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Cleveland.
Fellas, the rebounding has been very strong. Excellent so far. Putbacks are very valuable, and they're getting some.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively, they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensational. That's a good word for it.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Corey Joseph's checked in for Patty Mills. Now let's find out what head coach Greg Popovich had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
He said that one player he's really wary of is Anthony Davis, adding he can impact the game in so many ways. Defense, shot blocking, rebounding, and scoring. He's still adding muscle, and we've got to capitalize on that strength advantage at both ends. Kevin, that's the MO for any young player. We'll see how he stands up to it.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Now here's Waiters. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Chicago. And another miss by Cleveland.
Just cannot find the rhythm. Still yet to hit a shot this quarter.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Here's McCallum. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And even 3-on-3 break. And Joseph kicks to Bonner. Poked loose. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Stolen by Joseph. Green with the ball. Picked up by Thompson. Joseph, the pass to Bellinelli. 6 on the shot clock. Pulls it up. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. And that does it for the first quarter. Cleveland ahead, up.
Coming up next month.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
And the key has been the second chance points. You look at this team, the hustle that they play with, very impressive in that first quarter.
Well, it's showing up on the scoreboard. I mean, you get second chance points like that. It can add to your totals and also demoralize your opponent.
They've got Tony Parker. Bonner is out there. Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Corey Joseph. And it's Duncan in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Everything appeared to be lined up for Cleveland to get back in the playoffs last year, but that just wasn't the case. A lot of what-ifs for them last season.
And with another top pick on the roster, Kevin, and a youthful team, they were a popular pick before the season to play postseason games, but they still needed some seasoning.
Here's Robinson after the basket by San Antonio, and it's Thompson with the jam.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
San Antonio with the ball. The Cavaliers making the shot. Duncan kicks to Leonard. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Leonard's got 5 now.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Irving attacking. Robinson dishes to Thompson. Here's James. Rebound San Antonio. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And one of the factors in that game was they just couldn't get to the foul line and get enough points from the free throw line to make a difference.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanked off the rim. They were letting them hear about that.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And on the way from Irving for 3. Good. Irving's got 7.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
San Antonio calls timeout. And LeBron asked who would be on his Mount Rushmore of NBA greats, Steve. He went with Larry. He went with Michael Jordan and Oscar Robertson.
Well, you got to feel like he probably can
sort of associate himself with the Big O. You know, the big body, the strength, the versatility. That's what Oscar was all about. That's what LeBron is all about. So nice to see LeBron's recognition of that era of the NBA.
Hard to argue with those selections. He also said he better be